Jeff Wilson started covering the Texas Rangers in 2008, though he'll never forget 2021. Out on his own, he decided it was time to do a podcast, but his wheels were spinning until a nerd came along. There's no going back now. Welcome to the Texas Rangers Baseball Podcast. Here's your host, Jeff Wilson, and the recliner nerd himself, John Moore.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Texas Rangers Baseball Podcast. This is episode 35. Today, Cole Ragans, left-hand pitcher Cole Ragans from the Frisco Rough Riders, first-round pick in 2016. He's going to join us here in a little bit, but first, Jeff, let's get into the big leagues.
All right.
And what's going on right now. 6-4 in the last 10. Mm-hmm. Came off a road trip where they were 3-2. Good road trip.
Yeah, good road trip. They played well throughout. I mean, it was a funky road trip because they basically had 3 off days because of rain. You know, you don't get back-to-back games rained out very often. I think it was the first time since 2006 that had happened to the Rangers. And so I think it kind of distorted them, kind of broke a good rhythm they had built. But, you know, your Major League ball players and having to the other team too. And really the Yankees, they both scored 5 runs in the 3 games. I mean, that's pretty ridiculous. So I think if there's been any side effects from that, though, it was the offense has kind of sputtered a little bit. The defense, you can lose rhythm defensively, and you see 9 errors in the last 5 games. So, you know, that's a little worrisome, I think, though. Of course, the players aren't worried. I don't think they worry about anything. But it's the Rangers are playing better. They started to come out of it last week on our last show. We were talking about that, but it's true. And again, it starts at the starting pitching, and this guy, you know, Martin Perez has led the way.
He's the ace. I mean, let's be honest. Yeah. John Gray, who's fantastic. We talked to John the other day. He's just what a great guy.
Yeah.
Video game nerd, by the way. That was pretty interesting. And not like most of these guys that like to play video games like to play all the sports games. They like to play, you know, Madden and all that. He is into some wild.
Yeah. I wrote about him.
Yes.
A Sunday read story at rangerstoday.com, $5.99 a month, $60 a year. He really, it's kind of how he got his mohawk. Is because he's like his character that he created in a game called Elder Scrolls, and he's like created a guy he thought looked cool, so he's like, well, all right, I'm going to get a mohawk, and that's it. So anyway, Martin has allowed, I think, 2 runs in his last 26 and a third innings, 27 innings. You know, people say this is the best he's pitched with the Rangers, and maybe it is. And you know, right before he had Tommy John surgery, though, in 2014. He threw back-to-back complete game shutouts.
Right.
But then the third, and it was in the second start where he hurt his elbow. So the third start wasn't very good. But, you know, he does seem different. You know, he's saying the right things. He's a little, you can tell he's a little smarter. He's always been a pro. You know, that's the one thing about Martin. He's always, like when the cameras have been on him, he's always said the right stuff. And good for him, and I hope it carries over because he's a good guy. It's a $4 million deal. He wants to be here long term, and if the Rangers are going to need a pitcher, maybe Martin Perez's pitch his way into a job. Now it's early; it's very, very early. He's got to do this for 27 more starts or whatever, but it's pretty impressive.
Well, you can't argue with what he's done. I mean, good Lord, and you and I would make jokes, and every time that he went in that one game where he hit two players and pitched double play, got double plays. He's had a lot of double plays.
Well, that's been one of the hallmarks of his career is the ability to get a double play. Unfortunately, that means somebody's always on base. But the sinker and the changeup, he's gonna get a ground ball. Just
always remember this. This is my joke, and I've said it. When he walks somebody, he's just setting up the double play. He likes getting that stat, and that's what he's doing, right? Or somebody gets on. So with all the good that's gone on, and look, last week when we came on, they were 5-5 in the last 10. I always give a little last 10 update. 6-4 this time. There is one person do we need to be concerned about yet, and that's Marcus Semien, who I think, look, statistics show this guy, he's in a funk right now. He's going to be better than this.
Right.
But at some point, you have to go, should we be worried? And what do you think?
Yeah, well, you're a month into the season at this point, and you know, he's probably cleared 100 at bats, or he's right about there, and you know, he's hitting under 170. And you know, you didn't sign this guy for $175 million to hit less than his contract. So we talked to him last night after the game. You know, it was a very quiet clubhouse. He does his stuff. He came in, we asked him about it, and he said he actually feels good. And Chris Woodward had said before the game that there's been some bad luck, and I don't know if that's if you're looking at exit velocities or things like that where he's hitting the ball hard, hit probabilities, balls are getting caught, whatever. But I mean results. This is a results based industry, and he's not getting them right now. Now he didn't want to. I asked him if he was pressing. He said, "Well, I don't want to talk about that because I'm trying to stay positive." And he said, I want to focus on the things. Let's talk about the things I'm going to do to get out of it. All right. Natural follow up is, what are you going to do to get out of it? And he said, keep working. So,
yep.
He's not afraid of work.
He does. You watch him. Yeah. He's working.
He's a routine based guy.
Yes.
Once he settles in and feels comfortable, it is going to take off. I mean, look, this is a guy that plays 162 games a year.
Right.
He's going to get 600 to 700 at bats.
Sure.
So we're talking about what, 17% of the season right now.
Exactly.
He's got a long way to go to turn it around. He may not hit 330, or he's not going to hit 45 home runs, but he wasn't going to hit 45 home runs anyway.
He's going to hit over 200, right?
Yeah. So. But I mean, if he hit 45 home runs last year, a record for second baseman, but he did it at 3 different parks. He did it at a minor league park, another minor league park, and Sky Dome where the ball sails. So
sure,
or Rogers Center, sorry.
Right.
But so the home run numbers were going to come down, but he is going to be a productive player.
I wondered this too, and it's probably why I'm not a major league manager, but this isn't a guy that, how sometimes when someone's scuttling, you just give him a day off.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like a guy that wants that nor needs that. He wants to stay in there. He's got to be working on what he's working. My deal is maybe this is a guy that needs to be batting 5th or 6th. Maybe he needs to be back in the lineup, get the top of the lineup going and let him settle in. I think you see once more people have gone in, they've let him off a lot. He's always at the top of the lineup. There's a reason I'm not a major league manager, but that almost seems like you wonder in your mind, well, what if you moved him back a little bit? Just that we're not going to give you a day off. He's not a guy you're going to hit 8th or 9th. That's not a guy you hit 8th or 9th. Maybe to follow up that power in the middle of your lineup or right there at the end of the middle of your lineup. He's got the power to do it. He might see some more pitches there because once he gets in that groove, he can get it always follows, and stuff comes after that. All of a sudden you scuttle out of it, and the rain didn't help. He was on a roll there for a couple games before the rain helped.
Philadelphia,
and that kind of pulled it back. But I wonder if that's not an idea that could happen. But there's
no, that was something else Chris Woodward talked about yesterday, and it's been discussed. They talked about it, and basically Chris told him, you're not going anywhere until you feel like you need to go somewhere. So,
right.
They're giving this guy a lot of leeway, and they should. He's in the last 2 full seasons, 162 game seasons, he's finished 3rd in the MVP balloting. So,
sure,
guy knows how to play. He does a lot of good stuff, and he's cool about it. He's still when you talk to him, he has a presence about him. It's very. I mean, he's 31. He's been around a while. It's good, and if he's not freaking out, then I don't know that everybody else is going to freak out, but I don't know that people should be freaking out if he's all right with it.
It's just the worst timing. That's the problem. And you talk about bad luck. Last night, he grounded out off of inside pitch where he was trying to check his swing, like it hit off the knob or something. That's bad luck too. But yeah, I mean, look, if this were in the middle of the season and he was going through this, you just signed a big contract. The season's just started, and you're scuttling at the beginning.
Yeah.
So it's the Sin Shu Chu thing where he started off bad that first year. He got his big contract. Look where he was by the time he finished his career. I'm not worried about it, but you have to bring it up.
Sure.
You have to. This is a guy that signed a big contract, so you have to at least bring it up. Good to see the home run ball starting to show up for Seager, and he hit 2 the night you and I were there. He hit another one last night in a poor game. Just a bad game all around. The errors, that's a big concern.
Yeah, Corey Seager I think he's still hitting below 250, but he's probably the last guy on the team you need to worry about. There are other guys who are struggling. Nate Lowe's in a pretty massive funk. He's 3 for his last 45 or something like that. I thought he'd got one last night. Got a home run that would have gotten him going. Mitch Garver's on the injured list, so that's another big bat that's out. Sam Huff Sam Huff's doing fine. I know it's only been 2 games, but when you go back to his debut year, did I say that? Yeah,
20,
year in 20. he has like an 8-game hitting streak.
It's
pretty crazy. So, spread out over,
chasing DiMaggio, right?
500, yeah, that's right, 500 games, but, or 500 days, but he'll be all right. And Heim, this gives Heim a chance to do something. He's been one of the Rangers' best hitters. So,
absolutely.
Teams ebb and flow. You hope that everything comes together at the same time, the pitching, the defense, the offense. And the Rangers haven't done that yet. And if they can, they're going to be competitive. And they've got the Royals again. They're in the midst of this Royals series. They got the Red Sox, who aren't very good right now,
coming in.
Then they have the Angels next week and go on the road to
Angels have been
Houston,
surprising.
Anaheim, and Oakland. So
yeah.
It's an interesting stretch and a tough stretch. So it'd be good for the bats to start clicking a little bit.
Yep, absolutely. And you know what? I wanted to get into something here, and I've got to be the what do you call it? The forget it. I don't know what
Bearer
the word
of bad news.
No, not bad news. This is the conspiracy theorist.
Oh,
that's what I am.
There we go. All right.
Okay. We had a spot start last night. Rex was sent down to AAA.
Yeah.
Tavares has not been in the lineup for 2 days. He's not hurt. Is he going to be here tonight?
No.
He's not.
Okay. He's going to play for Round Rock.
Okay.
Tonight,
you know what?
being Thursday.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it is Thursday.
I mean, it's very weird because I keep asking about it, and I just keep getting back that it was manager's decision. So why Tavares was removed from the game Sunday,
right?
And hasn't played since. So manager's decision. So he's either hurt and they're not saying it, but they would, or maybe he didn't run out of a ground ball or something dumb happened in the field. I don't know. But
so manager's decision. I'm assuming it's Hagen.
Yeah, Matt Hagen. Yeah, and it just seems a little bizarre that you would do that with your best player. Now maybe he's working on something or something. They saw something they want him to work on, and they're giving him a few days to do that. That's fine, but I don't know. It's just kind of curious that you would do that with your best player who's on a 17-game hitting streak, and all of a sudden he gets half the game off Sunday, off Monday, off Tuesday, off Wednesday.
And he is in the lineup tonight.
He's supposed to be. That's the last thing I heard.
Okay. Well, Rex has to go down for how many days?
10.
He has to go down for 10 days.
Yeah.
They're going to need somebody to fill in, or at least to bat somewhere, I would assume, unless they stay.
They're going to stay short. They're going to save the 3-man bench. They're going to ride out. I think for now they're going to ride out the month with they have the opportunity to have that extra pitcher.
Right.
And they're in a stretch now where they're going to only have 1 day off, and it's next. That's the 23rd. They don't have an off day until the 23rd.
Okay.
And then after that, they have another stretch where they don't have a day off. So they're going to try to save up as much as they can on the pitching front here.
Okay. Well, you know what? Look, Jeff, the other day I texted you and they had sent him. I think it was Sunday when they had sent him out, and I texted you, and I was like, my hint was, the context. Is this guy getting ready to come here? He wasn't in the lineup.
No, it was last Thursday.
Yeah,
as I recall.
And so now I've got to question it again. I mean, it seems like Rex is going down. Maybe there's a spot to come in. You're right, though. The extra arms are probably going to be needed.
Yeah.
And one good thing, we did talk to John Gray, and one good thing, he felt great. They were really worried about remember his knee was bothering him after the last start. Just a little bit. He felt something. It wasn't even bothering him. He just felt something.
Yeah.
So he's going to stay with the brace. He felt great. He was telling us, I feel fine. I mean, I'm last time I woke up the next day, I felt horrible. This time I felt fine. We're going to stay with the brace. Good news there is doesn't look like he's going to miss a start.
Yeah, yesterday, in fact, during batting practice, he was running and shagging fly balls, so he's fine. And there, I guess there's an opportunity that they could flop Perez and John
and set him and give one extra day.
Give him another day of rest, but. I don't think he thinks he needs that, and I think he just wants to start pitching every fifth day.
Build up too.
Yeah, he wants to get the rhythm, get built up, and if you can add him to what Perez is doing and what Dunning appears to be on his way to doing. Otto's been pretty steady. You had Taylor Hearn, you need him to be he's gone 5. You need him to be a little more efficient. That's if they can keep that some semblance of what they're doing now. It's pretty good. That's going to keep you in a lot of games, and it's going to get better.
The bullpen has not disappointed.
Yeah, outside of Wednesday's game, that was just, but that's a bullpen game, and it was screwy. But I hate bullpen games. I'd much rather call up a guy. I know there's roster implications, but my God, I just you
Yeah,
That's why you have these guys in the minor leagues to come up and make a start, and they can go back down.
Yeah, and you do have to preface that, too, with what starter do you have in the minor leagues that's on the 40-man that might be up to pitch, too. So what he's saying on roster moves is exactly right, because if you don't have anyone on a 40-man roster, some moves got to be made to clear one so that someone can make a spot start. It's real easy to look down and go, well, they got A.J. Alexi, just bring him up. Well, what if A.J. pitched 2 days ago?
Right.
He's not available on Wednesday night. That kind of a thing. So I see what they're doing there, but okay. Well, I think anything else before we get out of here and get Cole?
No, I think we're good to go. There's one thing we do need to talk about though after Cole. Okay, I got a pretty good story.
Okay, after Cole, we'll talk about that. Guys, we're going to be back in just a minute with left-handed pitcher Cole Ragans. Okay, guys, this is episode 35, and joining us now from Tulsa, Oklahoma, where the Frisco Rough Riders are playing the Tulsa Drillers. Say that 5 times real fast. Texas Rangers left-handed pitcher Cole Ragans. He was the first-round pick in 2016. He's joining us right now. Cole, thanks for joining us, buddy.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah, this is your second appearance. So
yeah,
second timers. We've had Justin Foscue, John Daniels, Chris Woodward, and now Cole Ragans. So
yes,
I'll put you ahead of Foscue. I'm not going to put you ahead of the other two, but I'll put you ahead of Foscue. So anyway, don't tell him I said that though.
Oh man.
So how's Tulsa?
It's not bad. I mean, the field locker room, all that kind of stuff is unbelievable. It's really nice. Like the size of the locker room and everything is really nice.
Well, that's good because you can run into some tough ones, can't you? Some parks that you're like, this isn't very good.
Yeah, like Midland's locker rooms kind of. It's just there's not a lot. Like people have to double up sometimes because there's not a lot of lockers.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
All right. And you guys have it pretty good in Frisco. I don't know if I'm supposed to be in the clubhouse, but I've been in there a couple times when the big league guys have rehabbed. It's good enough.
Oh yeah, no, I love Frisco. Okay. I mean, the locker room's like smaller than normal, but we still have like good size lockers. Like it's not a small chain,
right?
Like metal locker.
Like you get at the rec center. Yeah, it's
yeah.
All right, so obviously the first episode we went down your terrible injury luck. All that's behind us, so we're not really going to talk about that. We're not messing with that anymore. You're off to a really good start. You're coming off a really good outing. Sunday, 6 scoreless, 2 hits, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. What so far is working for you to start this season?
So coming out of spring training, I had we had a little cutter that I just kind of mess around with. Didn't throw it a lot. It was more of like a bridge pitch. Like if they're on my heater, but I want to throw something, that's still hard, I'll throw the cutter or let it set up the slider. And then through my first 3 starts, I tried the slider and it was super inconsistent. Like I couldn't land it. Like I'd land like one a start and just all over the place, kind of just yanking it into the ground. So we kind of took the slider and put it in my back pocket. Look more at the cutter, try to make the cutter better and use it as almost like a slider, but just try to make it go, instead of going like sideways like this, try to just get it to go down a little. So I feel like I like the cutter a lot because it's like I'm throwing a fastball. I just have a slightly offset grip and let it do its thing.
Okay. So four-seamer, right?
Yeah.
Four-seamer, cutter, and then the changeup.
Yeah.
The change.
You know, and then curveball's still there. Just kind of use it. I use it really early, or if like, you know, I've thrown everything in the book at a guy, I might try and flip one in there.
Okay. So, but and I guess this is kind of relevant to the injury. You know, last year you threw 80 innings. You hadn't pitched in a while. I think maybe you wore down a little bit at the end of last season. How do you feel physically right now? I mean, and is the elbow even ever enter your mind?
I feel great. Probably the best maybe the best I've ever felt. I mean, elbow, no, it doesn't really enter my mind. I feel like if I take care of, you know, my body with the weight room and the soft tissue and the recovery and all that kind of stuff, like it kind of takes care of itself. Like everything will feel good. The elbow never really enters my mind. I just, you know, I try not to let it enter my mind as well, just because it'll, you know, obviously
right.
It sucked, but no, I feel great.
Good. So you pitch on Sunday. When's your bullpen day during a week? What's your week like from start to start? Since it's so crazy in the minor leagues now.
So Sunday will be my start. Monday is like off day, like we don't play, but even if I like started on a Saturday, Sunday would be my off day. I always take day after start because right now we're on a 7-day rotation. So it's nice I get one off day. So I choose the day after my start. So like right now it's Sunday start, Monday off. Tuesday I'll throw like 60 to 75 feet. Gets like soft tissue and stuff because nobody comes in Monday, so I can't get a Monday. So I'll do that. Wednesday's like, it's like a moderate day. So it'll be like 105 to 120 feet, kind of get a little air under it. And then today, Thursday, is my bullpen day. So it's like my other heavy day of the week other than my game.
Okay.
And then I kind of just repeat that cycle. So like tomorrow will be a light day, 60, 75 feet. Saturday will be a medium day, 105, 120, and then Sunday start day.
All right. So like when you go into a bullpen, I guess there's always things that you want to work on. Do you try to keep it, you know, is it like a feel thing? If you feel good after 25 pitches, you're like, I'm good, or do you are you still trying to build up a little bit here using the bullpens to help you build up?
I mean, kind of depends. Like usually I mean, lately, like my last few bullpens, it's been more of like, you know, working on like fastballs up and in, up and away, like middle up, curveballs down, like getting my changeup like full, like because sometimes I have a tendency I'll like baby a changeup, and so trying to just full arm it to my arm side, and then taking the cutter and going full arm to my glove side. I mean, I start off with all heaters. Like probably my first like 6, 8, 10 pitches are just fastballs, kind of set the tone of the bullpen, and then I'll start mixing in off speed. And then usually my last like 6 or 8, I'll like get the dummy in there and act like I'm facing a righty and a lefty. Yeah. And then that'll be really it.
All right. I mean, the pitching staff this year, I mean, there's always left-handers, but you have Cody Bradford, who you've really probably gotten to know pretty well here the last few years. And then Avery Weems. Is there like a lefty club where you trade secrets, or can you like learn stuff from right-handers too?
So me and Bradford, we have became pretty close. Like we're really good friends. We talk a lot, like in the dugouts. Like I'll watch his bullpen, you know, like give him like things that I think, like obviously like Jeff and all them are telling him, you know, what they think, and Jeff knows so much. I just give him like my opinion. Like I'll be like, hey, your slider looked really good today. Whatever you did, I think you should keep doing that, or just like little things, And but so me and Bradford are, heavy fastball changeup. Like
Right.
both of us, we throw a lot of fastballs, and changeup's our best secondary. Where Weems is more of a seamer slider. So it's like when Weems throws, I still chart his game because it can give me ideas. Like his slider's like tight and hard, so I'll be like, all right, slider, I can throw my cutter there, like and stuff like that. Like his slider. So still chart, but I think me and Bradford are just a little more similar. So we kind of saying that me and Weems don't talk about hitters and all that. We still do. Like we'll all be in the dugout just sitting there like, I think this guy's, you could do this or this or this, or, just sit there and talk. But me and Bradford talk a lot just because, like I said, heavy fastball change. And we've really become good friends, and both of us learn from each other. I feel like I know I learn a lot watching him.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys were in Hickory last year. Got to Frisco last year. I'm guessing you guys, I don't know if you roomed together in spring training, but both married guys. So I'm guessing there's a lot of similarities, a lot of good things outside of baseball to bond with that guy.
Yeah, no, I mean, we've never lived together. But like my wife and his wife know each other. They'll like sit and talk at the games, and then every now and then we'll get like a group, me and Bradford and like Chase Lee and whoever else. We might go golf like on an off day or something like that.
Okay, yeah. Chase Lee was on our show.
Yep.
And he said that he was really impressed with your golf game. I don't know what you feel about your golf game, but he thinks you're a pretty good player.
I'd be lucky to be called average at golf. I'm not that good.
All right.
Not that good.
I'll take your word for it.
He on the other hand, Chase Lee is actually really good at golf.
Oh, all right. So we've established many shows ago that Cole Winn is the best golfer, maybe in the whole organization. So who's the best?
Yeah.
Who's the best among you guys? Like position players, pitchers. Who would be second best?
Like in the whole org?
Whole org.
Ooh.
It's probably a big league guy.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's usually a pitcher though.
Kellen Strom is pretty dang good.
Wow.
He'll shoot like high 70s.
Yeah,
wow.
That'll work.
Mid high 70s. Like on a bad day, he might shoot, a low 80 or something like that. But like they went the other day, and I think he shot like a 78 or something.
All right.
That means he's got control around the greens. That's where my problem is control.
He's got more control.
Yeah, he's good.
What? Where do you play in Frisco, or have you gotten out yet?
Say that again.
Where do you play in Frisco?
Yeah, golf.
I know. Uh-oh. Did you lose us? Are you there?
Where have I played golf at in Frisco?
Yeah. Where have you played golf in Frisco?
Oh, we went to Frisco Lakes. What was it? Last week.
Okay. But no Craig's Ranch or anything. Do you know where Craig's Ranch is?
No, the only place I've been to is Frisco Lakes, and then there's a place I forget what it's called. It's got like 2 or 3 golf courses on it.
Okay. Yeah, Craig's Ranch is hosting the Nelson this week, so I don't know if you'd gotten to go play. They do a lot of like U.S. Open qualifiers and stuff like that. It's a pretty good track.
No. I don't.
Okay.
I'm not a big spend a lot of money on a golf course because I'm not good enough. So I tell myself when I start playing good, I can do that. But till then.
All right. So we'll get back to baseball, I guess. I mean, I could talk about golf all day, but
sure.
So on the baseball front, you're moving a step closer. I mean, Double A is starting here. You could conceivably finish the year at AAA. Do you worry about any of that stuff? I mean, with what you've been through in the past, I guess you just look at what you can control, but feels like you're getting closer.
Yeah, no, I mean, every now and then it'll creep into my head. I just kind of try to tell myself, like, when it's time, it'll be time. Like, you'll know. I just try to, focus on each day, like today I have a bullpen. So focus on my bullpen today and, move on, then focus on my next start and so on and so forth. Try not to let the stuff that's, ahead that really get to me, because then you start thinking, and mind's a powerful thing. It can kind of throw you off track. So try not to let any of that stuff get to me.
Yeah, well, and that's why you got off of Twitter, which I admire. God, I wish I could get off of Twitter.
Yeah.
Man, that's the dream one day, Cole.
Yeah, from our end, it's
a little hard from our end. It's kind of a useful tool, but
yeah,
someday, baby, that's the dream. No more Twitter.
Yep.
All right. Well, look, I'm out of baseball questions. I mean, you're doing good and healthy, and I think that's the main thing. I mean, and you know that better than anybody. So I'm going to hand over to John here and let John needle you a little bit with some questions.
Yeah, and we went over a lot of stuff last time we talked to you about growing up there and where you went to high school and all of that. Let me ask you this: in high school, did you play against anybody or with anybody that's playing pro ball now? Because I mean, you're from Tallahassee area or around Florida. There, did you play against?
Yeah, so Cole Sands, he's with the Twins, just made his debut a couple weeks ago. Me and him went to high school together, played at high school, basically freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year, we played together. Then he went to FSU, got drafted by the Twins. He made his debut a couple weeks ago, but we still, that's my throwing partner in the off season.
Okay.
We go work out together, throw together, all that kind of stuff.
Were you somewhere near Chris Cease?
So Cease is about 4 hours south of me.
Okay, all right.
So nowhere close.
I mean, we played some schools from down there, just never played his school.
Okay. So
but I mean, go ahead.
Your high school team then must have never lost. You have two major leaguers.
Yeah, so my sophomore year, we went 26-4, ended the year on like a 17-game win streak. That was probably the best team I've been a part of. I mean, considering high school, but we had, from that team, there's five of us or something like that.
Oh, wow.
That played pro ball.
Okay.
Only one that's made it so far, though, to the major leagues?
Yeah.
And you're close.
Yeah, so we have two big leaguers that have gone to the school now, Cole Sands and then John Nagowski, who he made his debut. He's in AAA with the Braves.
Right.
But he made his debut with the Pirates. He was with the Cardinals, sorry. And then he went to the Pirates.
Got the T-shirts and stuff. He was kind of like a cult figure, real quick, as I recall. Yeah.
Hey, did you play in the field at all in high school?
No, I've been a PO since 8th grade.
Okay, so you haven't that not just but no.
Yeah, no, I can't hit.
So you're happy for the universal DH that hits baseball now?
Oh, I'm yeah. If I'd be a guaranteed strikeout, it'd take me a while to figure out how to really, have a good swing and stuff.
Man.
Well, let me go this way then. So I want to go to Frisco and your teammates and all of that. Do you guys play pranks on each other?
Do we play what?
Pranks on each other. Any good inside pranks that you can tell me?
I'm trying to think. No, nothing really. Nothing this year has we haven't really had any pranks or anything. I mean, we had Watley running around the clubhouse in the Frisco mascot thing the other day for about 2 hours. I'm trying to think. There's not really any pranks.
Not really prank. Okay, so we're gonna have to set you up. We'll figure out a good prank you need to play on somebody. We'll give you the lowdown. We're old, so we've done the pranks and doing that. Hey, so let me ask you this: you guys travel around? So when you get out of town to any of these spots, do you ever are there food spots that you're in Tulsa now? Have they told you we got to go eat this place in Tulsa or something like that? Do you guys find spots when you go out of town that you got to go see it?
Yeah. So Tulsa, Watley, and Procession are both from here.
Okay.
Or both live here. And so today's my wife's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, all right.
Yeah. So, but yesterday we had the 11 a.m. morning game. So we got the afternoon off. So we decided, well, since we get the afternoon off, we'll just celebrate, last night. So, Procession's wife came to the game, and then her and my wife were talking. All the girls sit together and talk and stuff. And she sent my wife a few places, and then my wife found there's a place that was kind of like a rooftop bar, and it's like an appetizer. Get a few drinks, have some appetizers, live music. So we went there, and there's a group of us, because there's 4 or 5 guys and their wives or girlfriends are here. Fiancés, but we went there, and then we went to the casino for a little bit.
Ooh. Oh, that sounds fun. Did you win any money, or you're not a big bettor?
No, that's I'm not a bettor. That's the first time I've ever stepped foot in a casino in my life.
Are you serious?
Would you do some slots or something easy where it doesn't take a lot of skill? You just
no casinos.
I just watched some blackjack tables, watching people throw around some money.
Oh, that's crazy.
Well, the first time I was ever in a casino, I was 13.
No, it was cool. Some of the guys love it. Some of the guys love playing blackjack and all that. So
yeah. The first time I was in a casino, I was 13, and I got a story. We had a French foreign exchange student, and so we lived in Colorado, and we were going to show her the country, some Grand Canyon and stuff like that, and so we just detoured up to Las Vegas, and I was 13, and I put money in a slot machine. Of course, obviously they didn't care at the time because I don't know what they would have done. Yeah. But anyway, I won $4.50. I thought that was awesome, and so I kept telling my dad, and my dad was like, "You can't do that." So I was like, "Well, hey, keep feeding this thing of my winnings." And of course, I lost all my money. But
sure,
man, I went to Las Vegas 8 times one year. I'm a big casino guy.
Well, and you got to give Cole credit. He gets off of Twitter.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like to go to the casino. There's a people don't understand. There's a reason those casinos are so fancy and big. There's a way they pay for that. And that's those people that sit down and throw. And I like to go play a few blackjack and do stuff like that. How about Frisco? You're getting to know Frisco now. You've been there a while. Any hot spots you like to hit in Frisco, or any favorite spots you and your wife like to go eat or go entertainment or things you do?
So there's this brunch place it's like a breakfast brunch, called Barney's Brunch House.
Mm.
And the first 2 times we tried to go were on a Sunday, more, and there was an hour and a half, 2-hour wait. And so we didn't go. So we were like, well, let's just go one morning, and during the week where people, it'll be a lot less crowded because it's not the weekend. Yeah. And it's pretty dang good. Pretty good.
Barney's Brunch House?
Brunch is good, man. Breakfast. Breakfast for any meal is good.
Brunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, here's another great Jeff Wilson story. When I got married, I didn't want to wait around all day. And so we got married in the morning. It was crazy. And we had brunch, and it was awesome. I think,
I bet.
And then we had the rest of our day. It's kind of like an 11 a.m. game, You get out there, you do your thing, and then boom, you're free, and nobody else, everybody else gets to go home. But I love breakfast. Breakfast, I can crush some breakfast. All kinds too. Chorizo and eggs is probably my favorite meal. You know, if it's on a menu, I'm ordering it. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. But like, bacon, pancakes. I love a pancake, man. I love pancakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, okay. Let's go to. What about you and your wife? Any competition you guys have? You guys play some board games, or you get on anything like that? I mean, is your wife athletic? You get outside and beat her in a sprint or race or something like that?
Hey, sorry, you went in and out, but were you saying that? Like, what do me and my wife enjoy doing or whatever?
Yeah, and I was talking about, are you guys competitive with each other? Anything you guys do competitive, you and your wife? Like me and my wife are competitive and do things that. What about you and your wife?
Well, my wife gets really mad at me because I'm so competitive. So we do we don't no physical activity. We don't compete anything like that.
Board games.
There's this game called Skip-Bo. Have you ever heard
yes.
of it?
Oh yeah.
Skip-Bo.
Yeah, so we play that a lot, and I will it gets pretty competitive, and it's funny. Like, we even got Watley to start playing because us and Watley live together. And so we got him to start playing. So now it's even more competitive, but it's funny. She'll get so mad at me because I genuinely, if I lose, I'll get mad.
That's okay. That's a good trait to have.
She gets pretty. Yeah.
Yeah. Scrabble's our thing.
Yeah.
Because I dominate Scrabble.
Because you're a writer. Good Lord.
But like when in the rare instances when I don't win, it's like that damn horse Rich Strike that just won the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, the long shot.
And my wife will celebrate. Her mom will celebrate if I don't win a Scrabble game. My sister gets fired up. So it happens. The best will fall every once in a while, but still, like power rankings, there's no question who's number one, and it's me.
Oh, well, we play the board games too. I like to tell them, and Cole, it sounds like you're the same way. As I'm a sore winner because I rub it in. I mean,
I rub it in.
I will pimp it. I'll like hitting a home run. I will pimp it when I win. I've got a 24. I got a daughter his age, so they hate it, but I love it. I don't let anybody win.
I tell you, my kids are terrible losers in board games. They're the worst. 7 and 9, like Uno. Well, you just can't play Uno with them anymore because they'll lose it.
All right, well, just a couple more. We'll get you out of here, bud. I appreciate you coming on. Now, we never touched on this last time. What were your favorite teams growing up? You grew over there in Florida, so were you like a Rays fan or a Marlins fan, or what did you like growing up?
Braves, I'd say
Braves. Yeah.
I never really had like a favorite team.
Florida State.
Growing up, yeah. So I will say Florida State, but like I always enjoyed, like I would find certain pitchers and be like, all right, like David Price back in his prime,
sure,
with the Rays, where he was unbelievable.
Well, like, I'm going to finish.
I would sit down.
I was about to say Cole Hamels.
Yeah, everybody compared you to Cole. Did we lose you?
Sorry, y'all went out.
Okay.
Oh, he was finished. He said also Cole Hamels.
Yeah, I was going to say
hang on.
Cole Hamels. Cole Hamels is your guy.
Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. So, no, I would watch like David Price when I could get him on the TV, Cole Hamels when I could get him on the TV, Matt Moore when I could get him on the TV. Like, it was just guys like that. And like even now, I mean, it doesn't even necessarily have to be anyone that is like similar to me. Like, I don't know what it is. I love watching Walker Buehler throw.
Sure.
Like just the way he goes about it, all that. I just love watching him throw. So like anytime we're done, like I'll even I pay for like a MLB TV so I can watch all the games,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can actually like go back and rewatch. So like say we have a game at 6:00 and the Dodgers are playing at
9.
They have whatever. I'll come home after the game and I'll sit on the couch and watch him throw. And then when he's done, I'll turn it off, go to bed. But
hey, that's your craft.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's end it on this. This is always a fun one. And so,
So,
can you hear me?
You there?
yeah.
Okay, so let's end it on a fun one. So it's bound to happen. We know you're on the trajectory. So whether it's this year, end of this year, maybe next year when it happens, you're going to get that call. And that call is going to be pack your bags. You're meeting the big league team. When you get that call, who's your first call? Who are you going to call?
Oh, my wife.
Be your wife. Who's second?
My mom or dad won. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably call my wife and then my mom and then my dad.
Do you think about that stuff?
Yeah.
Have you dreamed about something like that?
Yeah, it'll give me chills. I get, like, if I'm on just driving down the road, like driving to Tulsa or wherever we're going, because me and my wife will drive sometimes, and you get in your own head, and then you'll sit there and be like daydreaming or whatever, kind of get chills thinking about it, and it's just like it's one of those things where when it does happen, and hopefully it does, it's like one of those. I don't even know what I'm gonna do. Yeah. I'm gonna be an emotional wreck. I can tell you that.
Well, you've been through hell and back, I guess, and as far as surgeries go. So you deserve everything that happens. If that happens, you get to do whatever you want.
And we get a high five in the clubhouse when we first walk in there. We're gonna get a big high five from you over in the corner.
Yeah.
Hey, Cole, thanks again. Thanks again for dropping in on us. I know we've had a little connectivity problem, guys. He's in Tulsa. It's not his fault. He's having to deal with the Wi-Fi and the data out there. Thanks again, Cole. We really appreciate you coming on again, and we're going to do it another time, and maybe during the off season or sometime we'll catch you and get you in here in the studio.
And do me a favor, tell your wife happy birthday and thank you, because you've been away from her for about an hour. So
no kidding.
Yeah, so,
will do.
Or maybe that's your gift to her, some peace and quiet. But yeah, tell her happy birthday.
Yeah, will do. Thank y'all so much for having me on again.
All right,
it's always a good time.
All right, we appreciate you.
Yes, sir. See y'all later.
All right, take care.
That's Cole Wynn, left-handed pitcher. Cole Ragans. Good Lord. Cole Ragans, left-handed pitcher for the Texas Rangers. He's going to throw at me next time I see him, and I got that name wrong. Cole, thanks for joining us, buddy. Now when we come back, we're going to go down in the bus leagues. All right, that was Cole Ragans. Thanks, Cole, for coming on with us. It's time now. We're going to go down in the bus league, minor league roundup, whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
That was always my thing. Let's go down into the bus leagues, talk about the teams down in Low A, down East Wood Ducks, 13-16 right now. They're 5-5 in their last 10. Couple of guys there finally got called up.
Yeah. Over our shoulder is Cam Cauley, the third round pick last year's draft. He's been on our show. He and Ian Muller also on our show, the fourth rounder last year.
Yep.
The catcher, he got called up to Down East. They were at extended spring training, and there was always a plan for them. I know that they both wanted to start the season.
Sure.
Everybody does. Nobody
want to be in front of fans, even if
you don't want to stay in
fans.
You don't want to stay in Arizona for a long time. But the Rangers, and I think we've talked about this before. When the short season teams were eliminated by Major League Baseball, that really kind of forced teams to have to decide what they want to do with their young players. And the Rangers have decided, and there's an example last year with Thomas Sagasi.
Yeah,
Sagasi.
Sagasi.
So close.
I know it. I've said Sagasi forever. So anyway,
Thomas. We'll just call him Thomas.
Yep.
Last year, did the exact same thing that these two are doing now. He started and extended. About 6 weeks into the season, he got promoted to Down East, and that's where he spent the season. He didn't play every day. He got about 250 bats, got some exposure, got the feel for what a full season would be like, with the travel and riding the buses and having to get up every day and figure out how you're going to play the next day and stuff like that. So that's kind of the plan that the Rangers wanted to put these two on. And, they're of the prep players who were selected last year, they're the two most advanced guys. And so this isn't, starting in Arizona wasn't a punishment or anything. It was always part of this plan. So they're going to be in Down East for the rest of the season unless they really struggle. And then I don't think that's going to happen. And they're going to get an opportunity to struggle. They're going to play. And Thomas Sajasi, thank you. He started off slow last year, but he ended up posting some really good numbers and was a big player for them down the stretch as they advanced to the postseason. So it'll be interesting to follow these two guys. I mean, they're 19.
Sure,
it's and that's a pretty good bump for a 19-year-old.
Absolutely, and finally for them, they're going to get out and play in front of fans again.
Yeah,
and that's something they need to do now. Down in Down East, Yossi Galan is, man, he is.
Yeah,
you wrote about him,
right?
I remember waiting on the interview in minor league spring training because you had to have the interpreter to do it.
Sure.
Man, that guy looks like he's just built amazing. 320 right now. He's got 5 home runs, 973 OPS. This guy's.
Yeah, he was the player of the week in the Carolina League last week. And
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, he's built like a prize fighter. He's long and muscly and
right.
And he's a little older. He's got a very interesting story. He didn't sign until he was 18. And the Rangers didn't even scout him. They just watched him on video and gave him 10,000, and he took it. He's very toolsy, lots of tools. He's just got to put it all together. And it looks like for a month he is.
He's starting to. Yeah.
The off-speed pitches, the breaking ball gives him trouble. That's something that they've worked on extensively in instructs and minor league spring training. So it's good to see results.
Right.
He's going to strike out.
Yep. He's only walked 9 times.
But for him to get results, I think probably feel good there, and maybe it'll catapult him and help him. When he does go into a slump, he'll know how to get out of it.
Sure. And now obviously on the pitching front down there, still Kendrich seems to be the name that's done well. Emilio Teodo has been well. He's pitched 12 innings, struck out 14. This guy hitting 100 miles an hour.
Yeah. This guy that throws hard.
We pointed out to him during the minor league camp that we were at, watching him. I just remember the ball kind of exploded out of his hand.
Yeah, did you got video of him, right?
I do.
There's
go to the
on
YouTube channel. Yeah,
there's
a picture of him throwing, but he's done well. He's only got a .075 ERA.
Yeah, he's. I mean, you put a guy like that into that league, he's going to overpower guys.
Sure.
And
at 100 miles an hour.
Sure.
A lot of these kids are high school kids that didn't see above 85.
Yeah, or guys straight out of the Dominican Summer League. So it'll be we'll see what he's like later in the year.
Okay, Hickory Crawdads, 15-13, 6-4 in last 10. They haven't done good. So Hickory, that's probably the most talented team beyond maybe Frisco. I mean, AAA, it does have a lot of talent there too. You still got, you look at some of these numbers. I got an interesting thing that I heard about Zavala. Carter's hitting over 310. Again, this is another guy selective at the plate. Angel Aponte's done pretty well there. Christian Anoa has done well now. He's 22, still young there, but he's another one. So JC, okay. Who's there that you've? Oh well,
Acuna's back. He was hurt on opening night. Yanked his hamstring, and they didn't think it was a big deal, but they gave him a little time. So he came back. I think he hit a home run last night. Look, this guy can mash. I mean, the exit velocities are among the highest in the system, and he's not a big guy. He's I don't know if we're gonna be if Yossi Galan's a prize fighter, then Acuna's a fullback, or he's a really good running back. Stout, put together, talented, can run, hits for power. So And again, I mean, he's a top 10 prospect in the organization, so be interesting to watch him. And that, to your point about the prospects, top 10 guys. There's Owen White. There's Ricky Vanasco, who's right there.
Yep. Had a good night last night.
Yeah. Evan Carter, Acuna, Aaron Zavala is just outside of the top 10. I think Mason Engler, our guest last week, is probably climbing the way he's pitching. TK Roby's also there, so very talented team.
I heard something interesting about Zavala. Now, if you look at Zavala's number, you have to go inside the numbers. He's only hitting 225. He's walked 28 times compared to 18 strikeouts.
Yeah.
and I heard something, and I'm not going to say where I heard it from, but it was very interesting to me. This is a guy that comes from Pac-10, where he was, all Pac-10. He was
Pac-12. It's
Pac-12 now. He was the MVP or offensive MVP or Pac-12 Player of the Year. Coming into a league where he's probably not seeing a lot of strikes.
Right.
So maybe the read on him is maybe even though you're not seeing the 225 average, he's only got a 741 OPS. Maybe he does need to come to AA where he's going to see strikes more, because you can't ask a guy, we need you to start swinging when you're not used to swinging at balls. And there's in high A ball, these are still young kids finding their way, and they aren't throwing. Ricky Vanasco's walking people.
Well, that's interesting, and I think
because the numbers say he's selective.
And I think he might be too selective. I think
Yes.
It is okay on occasion to swing at pitches that are outside the strike zone.
Sure.
If it's a pitch that you think you can handle and do damage with, like a high curveball, or a fastball that's up out of the zone, or for a left-handed hitter like Zavala, a low inside pitch.
Sure.
Give it a pull. See what happens, and the strike zone discipline is not going to go anywhere for him. And so I think that maybe if he's a little more selective, or a little less selective, and his batting average has come up. It was, I think at one point, maybe 2 weeks ago, it was like 114.
He's at 225.
It was pretty.
Now,
it was pretty shaky. So, but there's no worries. I did a Friday on the Farm last week about guys who are off to cold starts and hot starts, and he was on the cold list, but. Ross Fenstermaker said that on the scale of 1 to 10, his level of concern about Zavala is a 1 because of his approach and play discipline.
Yeah, and I kind of, where I heard this too was kind of, maybe it's made him a little more timid in the fact that he's not being as aggressive as he should be, because he's so selective at the plate. He's been hit by 3 pitches too. He's leading the team there. This guy's selective at the plate. That's for sure. Going into pitching, we talked about that. Mark Church is still another name that's kind of flown up that radar.
Yeah.
Struck out 27 in 14 innings.
Yeah.
This guy's, what's he throw 100?
He doesn't. He throws like 96, 97. Really
pitch,
devastating
apparently.
Slider.
Okay.
I think they're both out pitches. He was in a minor league notebook that I wrote, published yesterday at rangerstoday.com, $5.99 a month or $60 a year.
$35, you can get the rest of the season.
Yeah, and look, nobody's going to cover the minors like us. So, Church, it's interesting. He's only worked an inning apiece, but they're thinking about stretching him out a little bit to see if he could be a starter. Or a multi-innings reliever,
Is he just a 2-pitch guy, or does he have?
Well, that's just it. And that was a question I asked. He's got 2 pitches. What's his third pitch? It's a changeup, but he doesn't use it very much. But that's kind of old school thinking, I think. I think now there's more of a movement to, if you have 2 dominant pitches, you're gonna get big league hitters out.
Yep.
And
Martin Perez said that the other
sure
night.
He did. You go with what's hot, and if they're not hitting it, you keep
that
throwing
was mature, by the way.
So anyway, Church is definitely a guy, unlike in the reliever pool. Chase Lee, who's a little different. He's been on our show.
Yep.
Still hasn't given up a run. So like Chase Lee, Church is in there. Daniel Robert, who's I think getting a little bit better after some struggles at Round Rock.
Right.
Those are like 3 names of relievers in the minors who could be guys that are on this team for a long time.
And the starters that we know about, we're going to get into at the AA level and all that. Owen White's really at Hickory. He's the starter that's been the most impressive so far. But Vanasco had another good night last night. And you got TK Roby there, who he's his 7.36 ERA, but I think that's just an anomaly.
Well, Englert has just been really good too.
Yes. Englert, Mason. Yeah.
So, pitching's in good hands at Hickory.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we go to Frisco. Frisco was 17-12, 4-6 over the last 10. These are the guys, if you're local, you can't get out to the big league game, you need to be going out to Frisco. You're watching major leaguers that are all over that roster that are probably going to, if they're not going to be playing for the Rangers, they're going to be playing somewhere.
Yeah, and they're in Tulsa right now as Cole joined us, but that rotation's also very good.
Oh man, and perform.
Jack Leiter, of course, is the
had his best
star of the show. Zach Kent, they're very high on. Ragans, of course. Avery Weems, Justin Slayton, and then our another guest of ours, Cody Bradford, who's kind of had it rough, but he's getting his work in. That's for sure. Offensively, Ezekiel Duran, Blaine Krim. Dustin Harris, Justin Foscue, John Ornelas, who's tearing it up and having kind of a breakthrough season. So I'm sure I'm omitting guys.
Only 22.
Right, still only 22. So that's a good team. It's a fun team to watch, and of course, Chuck Greenberg and Victor Rojas always put on a good show.
Yep, exactly. Okay, going into AAA, we're gonna end on that. It's the Round Rock Express, 20-12. Also, they're doing very well, 6-4 over the last 10. There's guys there scattered all over that lineup that might be here. Now, we know Chase Lee in AA is somebody that we're expecting, we think, if that goes along.
Yeah.
Something interesting with him, he's been closing games. Let's go back to Frisco real quick. He's been closing games at Frisco. Lately, he's been doing the 6th or 7th inning.
Yeah.
That could be, that's a sign where you're a conspiracy theorist like myself. He is not going to come to the big leagues and close games because they're not going to do that to him. That could be something they're looking at. Okay, let's get him in the middle of there.
You never know.
Okay, the hair on the back of my neck stands up on that one. Why is he doing that? Okay, Sherton Apostle has actually come on a little bit. He's got 3 home runs, hitting 277. But you're looking at guys, Josh Smith, Leody Tavares, we talked about. Thompson's back hitting well. Still Walker has started out pretty good.
Yeah.
Now that he's been back, he's been injured. What was it that he had? He had
a concussion.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And Wenzel, who's a little low on the average, but Wenzel's still performing there. Anybody there?
Well, I mean, Huff had a big week last week.
Yes.
But he's on the big league roster now.
Sure.
It's interesting to kind of watch like a Jake Latz who had a rough start. You're kind of watching these pitchers, Alexi, even Ari Hara, because they're the next wave. If something were to happen to the big league rotation, so
right,
they're always guys to keep an eye on. I know Ari Hara is not a prospect, but Latz and Alexi are, and they have futures in the game somewhere, whether it's with the Rangers or in the bullpen or somewhere else in a trade. So, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff happening on the farm.
Yeah, and if you do the MILB app, I think for like $49, you can watch all the AA, AAA games. If Round Rock, if you live in the Metroplex, that's a drive to go down and try to catch them, unless you're going to go somewhere. But you can pay I think it's only like $49, and you get every game, any minor league game there is. Now, Hickory and Down East do not have camera crews that run their home games, so it'd have to be an away game for them. But you can catch some of those. And I'm sorry, MLB needs to send me some money for sponsoring that. But in any case, it's a good way to watch these guys. So that's basically it in the minor leagues. You had a story you said?
Yeah, I got a story I got to tell. So I got ejected from my son's game the other day. And I did, it wasn't like a Mitch Williams scenario or anything. So Henry's team's getting smoked. They're getting crushed.
Right.
And it's starting to get hot, and it's like, all right, we're having trouble finding the strike zone.
Right.
So one of the dads says, "Hey, Blue, why don't you open up the strike zone? Look at the score. Let's go."
Yes.
Well, it wasn't being a jerk. The umpire says, "Well, do you want to come out here and do this?" Took it the wrong way. Could have just said, "Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I really should do that." And
or smiled at him, winked,
and so the dad said, "Yeah, I would like to." So the umpire says, "Well, then bring your old ass out here."
Said ass?
Yeah.
Okay.
So right during the game, kids around, and this team my son is on, very great families and kids, and the team was formed basically because they all go to church together. So they're not like me. They don't cuss in front of their kids and don't let them watch movies they shouldn't be watching.
Sure.
And so they were pretty offended, and frankly, I was more shocked at the just complete lack of professionalism.
Sure.
So we're not yelling at him, but we're saying, "Hey man, you can't say that stuff."
Yeah.
And he just keeps saying, "Shut up, shut up, shut up." So then the field umpire decides that he needs to get involved.
Sure.
And so he just throws out a very nice, sweet mom, Carmen Sweeney, super nice. She was just sitting there, and she we couldn't believe it.
Right.
And so the umpire is yelling at us, and I just said, "This guy has to watch his mouth."
Yes.
And I got thrown out.
You get thrown out.
I didn't raise my voice. I didn't say.
You didn't go kick dirt on him.
I didn't say this effing guy needs to watch his MF in mouth like I wanted to, but and so I just I was the official scorer too. So I just put the clipboard down, walked away, and it was pretty funny because the head of umpires at the tournament like came and pulled the guys aside and was like, apparently told them, hey, you guys screwed up.
Yep.
Because then they said the umpire had to come and apologize, and then they had to come and find me and bring me back. But anyway, I've been ejected from a Little League game for saying that guy has to watch his mouth.
That's fantastic and funny in that situation because you and I have both umpired Little League.
Right.
Some of the worst in the world is dealing with some of those parents that you have to deal with. But what we do for our kids, you did that. What I did for my kid is I'll be at the game Saturday night, and let me tell you why. My son is in a robotics thing. We decide, my wife and I, they want to raise money. We decide they want auction items. We bought 2 tickets to the Boston Red Sox game Saturday night, and with parking pass, donated it to them. They put it on the website, had a month of doing this, that they were going to try to raise money. Kathy jumps on, bids on it, just to put it out there, just to kind of set a mark. We forgot about it. Month later, we find out we have bought the tickets the second time. So I know I have credentials. I can go sit up there with Jeff and watch it, but I will be sitting at down in section 125 with 2 tickets I bought twice, and I have a parking pass. So I should donate out here to do it, but Kathy said, no, we're going to this game. Well, guys, thanks for joining us. Anything else before we get out of here?
Nope.
Thank you to Cole Ragans. Don't forget Rangers Today. Hey, $5.99 a month, $60 for a year, $35 just to do it for the season. Get on the YouTube channel. That's Texas Rangers Baseball Podcast YouTube channel. You can subscribe. It's free. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers there, so do that. Cole Ragans, thanks for joining us from Tulsa, Oklahoma, where the Frisco Rough Riders are. Until next time, guys, we'll see you at the yard.